David Stokes is with us, is the Show Me Institute Development Director. Good morning, David Stokes.
Good morning, McGraw. Good morning, Kelly.
How was your Thanksgiving bird?
Thanksgiving was wonderful.
Good to hear it. All right, what are you so upset over the Muni court reform? What's going on?
Well, I'm not upset over municipal court reform.
You're upset over the lawsuit.
I'm upset over the I believe a dozen or so North County municipalities suing to overturn Senate Bill 5, which is the bill that limits how much money they can collect and spend from ticket revenue. This is an unconscionable lawsuit, in my opinion. These cities are basically suing for the right to continue to abuse their own residents. I mean, that's how awful it is.
Yes,
that's how out of touch these cities. Now, in their defense, I guess, they're all really suing. They all probably don't want to abuse their own 600 residents. They just want to abuse the 100,000 residents who live around them, not their own 600.
Yes. What's also interesting is that they're using taxpayer dollars for this lawsuit.
I mean, almost assuredly they've got, I don't know the law firm, they've hired my stepfather, who's a lawyer, found it interesting that they had to go to an out-of-state law firm.
It's like Pennsylvania somewhere.
Right. I guess nobody wants to.
Yeah.
I guess nobody local wants to represent this bunch.
Nobody wanted to put their name on this lawsuit.
But it is one of the main objections, and this is what I want to tell to the listeners out there, and I want people to really to understand. One of their main objections is that it treats St. Louis County cities different from the rest of the state, meaning that in St. Louis County, the law says you can collect 12.5% of your total budget from ticket fines, whereas cities in the rest of the state, you can collect 20% of your revenue.
Right.
And their lawsuit is based on that's unconstitutional and that you can't treat cities differently like this. So I want to point out that there are hundreds of examples in Missouri law and dozens locally involving St. Louis County where the law has for a long time made distinctions between cities or different types of cities or different types of counties. There's nothing unusual about this. And more importantly, these mayors of these cities are perfectly fine with these other examples where their city is treated differently than cities in other parts of the state. They're perfectly fine with that. And we could give examples from transportation funding to occupational licensing and on and on. But I just want to talk for 1 minute about the county sales tax pool,
okay,
which I like. I'm a supporter of the fact that in St. Louis County, to some extent, cities put all the sales tax money into one pool and then redistribute it based on population. And it's much more complicated than that. But the point's the same. And these cities love that because they get money, even though they don't have any retail stores in
right.
some of them, they get sales tax money. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But that's not how it's done anywhere else in the state of Missouri. So for these mayors to be objecting that they're being treated differently is absurd, and they're deliberately misleading people.
Well, isn't that, though, the only thing they can hang their hat on with this law? That's the only thing they can sort of go after to sue on this law?
It may well be, and that might be probably a better question for a lawyer.
Right.
Scott Sherman could hit that out of the park.
Yes.
But it's clearly right. If you're desperate, you're going to hang on to anything that you can. And if what you're desperate to be able to do is write terrible fines and run a horrible municipal court system and abuse the people of your own community, if that's what you're desperate to keep doing, then I guess you're going to hang on something as clearly false as this argument.
The best thing you said was really true. They are suing to continue to abuse their own people, which is why they were rioting in the streets earlier, because the people in North County were upset with being abused by their local government.
They're upset, and they should be right.
But could you imagine? But again, where's the outrage that these towns are suing to oppress their own people, and sort of not a peep out of the whole thing?
Well, I think Senator Schmidt, I'm
talking about the outrage of the citizenry.
Well, I think Senator Schmidt, who passed the bill with bipartisan support, is outraged over the lawsuit, and justifiably.
Right.
And I hope that the average person who lives in these, Uplands Park is one of the cities that's filed this lawsuit. Just a year ago, 57% of the people of Uplands Park voted to disincorporate the city.
Right.
Now, it didn't hit the 60% threshold for that, but clearly 4/7 of your city doesn't want your city to exist.
Right.
Like, you're tired of your own city in there, yet the mayors or trustees of the village are suing to block one of the best laws that's been passed in Missouri in the past decade or so.
It's
finally cutting down on how municipals throughout the state, North County gets the most attention, but it happens around the state, cities targeting and abusing local residents with just terrible ordinance writing, ticket practices. And I hope this lawsuit gets dismissed quickly and painlessly for the people and painfully for the elected officials.
David Stokes, Show Me Institute Development Director. We had Thanksgiving, then we had Black Friday. We had Small Business Saturday. Sunday was, I don't know what Sunday was. Was Sunday anything?
Sunday was Take It Easy Sunday.
And then today's Cyber Monday. And then tomorrow's Giving Tuesday. Who should we give to?
Well, thank you very much, McGraw
How's that for a
and Kelly.
slow softball?
That is fantastic.
Slow curveball right there, right over the middle of the plate.
Well, we don't talk about this much, and people probably, the listeners might not know that the Show Me Institute is a charity. We're a 501c3 policy organization, educational organization, and we exist on the support of our donors, our board members and our donors. So with tomorrow being Giving Tuesday, I would love it if the listeners could go to showmeinstitute.org and watch a new Giving Tuesday video that we've released today and check it out and consider making an online donation to the Show Me Institute. Every small donation is greatly appreciated. Any large donations are greatly appreciated. But whatever anybody can do, donations to us are all tax deductible, and we'd appreciate the consideration of support from all the listeners out there.
It's either that or give us a speeding ticket every time we drive by the Show Me Institute.
You know, that's I haven't looked in. Maybe we could form a community improvement district, which would give the Show Me Institute authority to fund itself through sales taxes and property taxes and do that. Sure.
There we go. David Stokes.
It's probably possible under Missouri law somewhere.
Show Me Institute Development Director. Of course, that's what you have to do. You have to help develop, which is why Giving Tuesday is available. The website, again, is what? showmeinstitute.org and hashtag Giving Tuesday on Twitter. And I appreciate all the listeners out there following me on Monday and listening to this show. David Stokes, have a good week.
Thanks, McGraw. Thanks, Kelly.
8:44 here, Big 550 KT.